what I did was I bought a used vehicle and I decided that I needed an extended warranty. And I opted to go with Endurance Car Extended Warranty Services. I guess a few months later, my transmission went out, but I had already made the 30-day, 1,000-mile, you know, limit that you had to wait. They call it a waiting period. And I called Endurance. I let them know that the transmission went out right actually at my shop because I was there doing some business with the my mechanic. And Endurance tried to say, "Oh, it was already torn up," or we see that you had it serviced 2 months ago. And I said, "Yeah," I said, "I do that with all my vehicles. I'll service the transmission, oil, whatever." I said, "Well, I didn't give you my permission to find that out. But since you did, if you'll note on the receipt that it says that they changed the fluid and they changed my oil." Okay. And 2 months later, the transmission went out. And here it is 6 weeks later. It's been in the shop now for 6 weeks. It was on the mechanic's lift for 2.5 weeks. Endurance said that they wanted us to tear the transmission completely down, which we did do. And that was 2.5 weeks ago. And calling them constantly, the mechanic, the manager at the shop, calling them constantly, they very seldom return phone calls. Then they started complaining about, "Oh, we don't have anybody come look at it," or "We're running behind," or the service adjuster has anywhere from 25 to 65 cases a day or some foolishness. It's just gaslighting, essentially, is what it is. And when I started reading other people's complaints about the company, they'll deny the claim. And actually, my compressor went out and my struts went out, 86,000 miles on this car. And I forgot I had Endurance. I paid for it out of my pocket. It's like $1,000. And I can't get that money back because they didn't approve the repair. Now they have not yet, as of yet have not approved the repair for the transmission. So my mechanic had to put it back together, take it off the lift and push it into the yard. So now we're probably looking at shop fees to tear it down and put it back at about $2,000. I'm $2,500 today in this rental car, and I have to go back and renew my rental. So I don't know how much longer I can take that, but they've not called back. They've not called the shop back. They're saying the shop doesn't answer the phone, or they've not gotten the paperwork they need. They keep saying the same thing in redundancy. And it's unreal. I cannot believe it. But we've done everything. We've complied with every wish that they had. And they've still not paid for the transmission, haven't approved to pay for my rental car. And so it's cost me a lot of money. And if they don't pay, I still have to pay that shop to tear it down and to, put it back together, and storage fees that I'm accruing every day. I didn't do my homework. I've never had an extended warranty off the television, but I just kept seeing the commercial. And then I saw Danica Patrick is a spokesperson for them, the car race driver. She was on there. And then Chris, whatever his name, from the Fast and the Furious. So they spent all these millions of dollars on commercials. And I just, okay, I need an extended warranty. Let me just go with them. And apparently I made a bad choice. So they will answer, but they're gaslighting. They'll say the same thing over and over and over again. "Oh, we're looking into it. The senior adjuster has it. It has not gone any further than finding out the cause of failure," which they've gotten 6 or 7 times prior to. They're saying that the shop's not answering the phone, and he's only calling back once every 7 or 8 days. And there's a hit and miss thing. If you miss him, they don't make an appointment to talk about it. The only thing he needs to say is, yeah, we're gonna send you a transmission and we're going to pay for the rental. That's all they need to say. It doesn't take 6 weeks to do that. So to me, seemingly it's intentional. I see no pros because I've spoken to at least 7 different customer service representatives, and they're all saying the same thing. We're going to forward it to the senior adjuster. But as a customer, I can't talk to an adjuster. They won't let me personally talk to an adjuster. And so the shop manager, she got a little bit emotional, a little bit irate. And I was there at least 7 times where we called. And I had to calm her down and then it's, oh, don't yell. We weren't yelling, we're just being emphatic. But they want any excuse to hang up the phone. They know what they've done, they know what they're doing, but they don't want you to be upset or bothered by it. The gaslighting and everything. So, and it's easy to get in contact with them, especially if you want to purchase a policy. But when it comes to the claims department, that's where the gaslighting comes in. That's where all the confusion comes in. And there's a disconnect. Oh, we haven't gotten our records updated to say anything that you gave them information about the cause of failure. I said, man, I talked to 7 people. All y'all saying the same thing. I said, do you really think that we are that ignorant that we would call you all these times and not have what you requested? We've sent it. We've emailed it. We've texted. We have a call log that we're keeping. We have the pictures as you requested. There's nothing else that needs to be done besides endurance to send us a transmission and pay for this rental car. It is covered because the ball comes out of 2014 Nissan Murano, which Nissan is in a class action suit for the same vehicle transmission from 2015 to 19. I don't know why I excluded 14. It's the same transmission. And I'm having an attorney look into that as we speak. But that's neither here nor there. I paid for coverage. If you didn't want to cover the car, you shouldn't take my money. There's really nothing I can do because I'm accruing storage fees in the mechanic's yard. So, he's not happy because he has had to incur the cost of the teardown, which Endurance requested. When I spoke to the guy initially, there was an adjuster that I spoke to once, and he requested a teardown. And I said, well, you admitted to me that transmission was faulty or defective. He says, well, that's just part of our policy. I said, so you telling me that everybody comes in with transmission problems has to have it completely torn down? To me, that should be a cost incurred by Endurance if you're requesting that from a customer. But because the transmission is not working, it won't move. And you admitted that the transmission had a defect in it. You knew that. But still, you took my money to cover me under an auto warranty policy, extended auto warranty policy. What I expect, number one, is the transmission to be replaced. Number 2, I expect all the incurred shop costs to be paid by them because they are the ones that are gaslighting for all of this time. And they requested specifically that it be completely torn down. The time that they've taken, that they wasted, is 6 weeks now. Okay. This man needed his lift. He's lost money. I've lost money by this rental. I don't have a transmission in my car. Sitting in the yard, accruing fees. I want them to cover the total cost because, it's on them. I would like for all the consumers to know and to be wary of warranty companies. Just do your research. Look at, prior customer complaints, before you get hurt, because I've read other people having gotten hurt financially because of the same thing. And they'll deny it. And then now you're $5,000 out of pocket or whatever. And they've had to get another car. I'm trying to find another vehicle now because this rental, I might as well be making car payments for the money I paid so far just to have a vehicle to drive. I just want everybody to be careful, be cautious, because to me, it's like a scam. They spend all these millions of dollars with they put these stars on television to get people to get money out of their pocket into their pocket. And when you need service, it's like they look the other way, they run. And so to me, I think it's criminal, but that's just my personal opinion. It's a breach of trust, so to speak. They're not abiding by their contract.